pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. With community of all elements, we will empower learners to become contributing members of our changing world.
Okay, so I thought maybe we could just take a moment of silence to honor the tragedy in Harry and police news that their administrator passed away from
So moved.
Motion by Brady. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Okay, we do roll call. Jared Barkley. Amy Mullins. Brian Freed.
Here.
Jody Thomas. Here. Jocelyn Lee. Here. Move on to the welcome visitors section. Joyce, did you have?
No one signed it.
So just a reminder, this time is set aside for public comment or anything not listed on the agenda. We do our best to follow Robert's Rules of Order and Ordinance 13. And just a reminder, if you guys want to speak, sign in before the meeting, please. I'm not sure everyone's going to opportunity to speak. Okay, no one signed in, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
I had one question on that. Is the FFA advisor, is that similar to a coach position? Okay.
There's I mean,
Like it's just like the speech coach?
yeah.
Okay.
Except with FFA, it's not, it's not just a season.
It's your, okay.
I mean, it's pretty in-depth.
They do a lot, so, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Mullins
I'll second.
and a second by Ritter. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda? All opposed? Consent agenda is approved.
Can I ask you a question on hot lunch for a minute? Where's that money held at? Is that held in the general fund or is it separate?
It's separate.
It's separate? Is it interest paying?
Part of it is. So part of it with IceJet, and, well, it all is, but we have quite a bit with IceJet, and then the other part is with Central Bank. But it's both in interest accounts.
And how's that split or that choice made? You just do it? I'm buying it for just...
Our online payments go directly to IceJet, and so
Oh.
that's what is...
So they hold it,
Yes, and we can draw that down at any time.
and
So,
so like how much do they, out of 500,000, where do they go on?
about half, probably.
Okay. All right. Sorry, should have been there.
That's okay. All right, communications and reports. We're going to have to get used to looking over there. We'll start with Mr. Smith.
All right. I don't have anything to add. Haven't had a ton of school days since our last board meeting. Did just want to highlight our December Healthy Hero with Bryson Newcomb. You can read the kind things his teachers wrote about them, but that wasn't in before our December board meeting report got done, so just wanted to make sure he got highlighted here in January. Otherwise, down there at the bottom, still rings true. Thank you to our maintenance crew and everyone that gets all the snow removed. So playground, play areas, snow hills are knocked down not too high for anyone to get hurt on. They do a phenomenal job of getting that stuff ready. So just wanted to give a thank you to them.
Have you started fast testing?
Yes. Yeah, we've started. It's gotten a little wonky here with our 4 no school days. So we'll have to do some shuffling around, probably extend it into the week of the 22nd, just to make sure we get everybody done. But we will be busily trying to move subs around as best we can to
Okay.
get that all covered in there. Yep.
And that's working better. They didn't have a sub
So
before?
before it was kindergarten and first grade had a full day sub, but their testing is like one-on-one for both reading and math.
Okay.
Second, third, and fourth grade had a half day because one of their tests, the teachers have to listen to them read and mark their errors. And then there's some other tests that they do on the computer.
Okay.
Well, we decided to extend that out to a full day for everyone so that if there's some kids that need to test on the computer in a little bit smaller grouping, the teachers have that flexibility to do that. So just trying something new out this testing period. We'll get some feedback in our grade level meetings and see if they enjoy it or not. So like I said, I mean,
Yeah, that's great.
adding more time isn't always a bad thing, so we'll just see how it worked out. So, yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. C at the elementary school? Thank you, Mr. C. Krista, what's going on at the middle school?
I don't really have anything to add to my report. I will say our staff is very thankful for the snow day PD that they're able to do. I also would like to highlight Sergeant Gannon started the NOVA classes, and he's only been able to come twice because of the snow days, but it went really great. The kids really loved it. He comes for the last 40 minutes of the day, so he does 4 classes a week. So we already have, he has a schedule, so we've already moved around makeup days, so he'll come 5 days some weeks, but he's enjoying it. He's met with me both days before he went in. Kids are enjoying it. The teachers say he's doing awesome, so we're excited to have him.
Do you have all the 6th graders? Does he have all the 6th graders at one time? No.
No, they're split into 4 classes.
Okay.
He wanted a regular class size because there's a lot of activities they do.
Okay.
And that was one part. He's like, I don't want to eliminate that part. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going really well. Any other questions?
I was just curious about the schedule change. Is that, or just kind of what was the reason behind it?
We just flip-flopped 7th and 8th grade to the end of the day for exploratories and 5th and 6th at the beginning. And then we had 10 minutes of TA in the morning, 10 minutes in the middle of the day, 10 minutes at the end of the day. We grouped it, so it's 30 minutes altogether. So it's 3 days a week our TA teachers are doing team building activities. 1 day a week Mrs. Hawk comes in and does life skills. And 1 day a week they go to an extra PE.
Oh.
So we just made it so it was more meaningful time rather than random 10 minutes here and there.
Yeah.
So
Great. I asked my girls to explain it to me and they couldn't.
yeah. Well, we really haven't had a real normal day because we've done map testing and then the snow days.
No, it makes.
So we're really ready to get started on a regular schedule.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense what you're saying, so I think it's.
Yeah, so it should be good. We'll see how it goes.
Good.
Thank you, Krista. Mr. Milowski, what's going on at high school?
I just want to echo what Krista said about the thankfulness for the PD snow days. I know the teachers really do appreciate that, and it gives them a chance to learn something for the current school year rather than kind of putting it off to the end of the year, and then you might not revisit it until August at the beginning of the following or the upcoming year. We have Jerry Brooks coming. I think that'll be really, really good. I know the teachers are really, really looking forward to him and his humor and his insight into the world of education. Other than that, does anybody have any questions at all?
Well, when I was first looking over your report, I read it as Garth Brooks.
We're going all out.
And I was like, hey, we're done. Yeah, right? And then, so that's funny that you highlighted that on your report. I just saw a G. Brooks, I guess that's the name of the
Not Garth, sorry.
Can the public come to that?
I'm not sure.
Normally it's, we're going to have 3 other districts here, so it would be auditorium would be pretty full.
If I can sneak a seat, I can find a seat or stand.
I mean, as long as we don't have a mad rush. You coming in, we can probably accommodate.
What time?
It's at 9.
It's 9 o'clock.
It starts at 9 o'clock.
I just want to reiterate, it's not gone.
No. No, I follow him online, and he's
Yeah,
pretty
he's,
good.
he is, he lives, but he's got a lot of good
Oh, yeah.
messages along with that as well. Yes.
I get to go because it's pressed.
Huh?
I said I get to go because it's pressed.
We'll talk.
Any other questions for Mr. Nowosky? All right, thank you, Mr. Nowosky. What's going on with you, Tom?
All right, not much to add to my report either. Just a couple highlights. On Friday, I'll be meeting, or myself, Mr. Malowski, Mrs. Park, and Mr. Stonekey will be meeting with representatives from Iowa Workforce Development to try to expand what we currently offer to our students in regards to work-based learning, internships, apprenticeships, and stuff like that. As we've been trying to put this stuff together the last couple of years, there are a couple different roadblocks we ran into, and their focus is to come and help us try to address those and knock those walls down. So I'm very interested and excited about that meeting on Friday. As you know, and as you've heard the principals mention, virtual PD days have been very well received. Unfortunately, last week was a bugger of a week in regards to missing school. So the 3 that were approved last year, we have utilized those already. Today was another snow day without virtual PD. So maybe something that I would like to have on the agenda next month to discuss, and we can take action on that. So the reception from the staff is just very positive. So I do know that they do appreciate it. And the governor has made some announcements in regards to changes with the AEA. This will have a direct impact. What she's proposing will have a direct impact on every school district in the state. Still a lot of moving parts yet. Nothing has been solidified yet. But just to reiterate what I said last month, there are a lot of things that the AEA provides for us as a district, especially the rural district, that if we were to go out and get those services on our own, would be very difficult to do. So if you could reach out to the legislator and just let them know that we do rely heavily on the AEA. If they want things done more efficiently, or looked at maybe the way things are done in the AEA looked at differently or maybe more efficiently, that's one thing, but then that's a lot different than what our initial proposal was. So
who would our lobbyists be that lobbies for either AEA or for us?
Lynn Evans would be our legislator that.
But don't we have a lobbyist as well?
We have some through RSAI, so that'd be Margaret.
Buckton.
And then ISB.
Maybe the school should be reaching out to her.
I just talked to her just today too about some stuff. Did you see her RSAI recap?
I didn't.
Okay. So she provides some good information about too, and they're working on. So RSAI, I guess for anyone here, is Rural School Association of Iowa. So they are
an advocacy group for small rural schools.
Yeah. And during session, she sends out weekly updates. And back in, I believe, June, the board voted on priorities, legislative priorities, and she collaborates on that. With kind of lobbying for priority stuff. So she understands as a representative for those schools.
And she gives us a lot of talking points to reach out to our legislators about.
Yeah.
Sometimes she even.
I see what
I did reach out to our 4 representatives for the zip code, and I did hear back from one, and he made it sound like there are going to be changes, like
the way it's proposed, the way it's written right now.
yeah. And even if he said, we'll talk about it and debate it, but basically there are going to be changes. Like there's no way they're going to reconsider. At least that's how it was, how I read it.
And then just lastly, with the recent weather and how that's impacted schedules, I just want to say thank you to my team. The administrative team has been very helpful. Rachel and the transportation team, custodians have been fantastic. I can't be everywhere all the time, so I'm getting a lot of different input from different people, and it's made the decision making and the communication much easier. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's assisted me at 4:45 in the morning to 6:30 in the morning. So thank you. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add. The director reports are also there. If you have any questions on those, I'll do my best to address those as well.
So you and Sergeant Dan had any conversations about now after
Yeah.
Lieutenant Perry?
Yeah, and actually he met with the high school students last Thursday. But we've had conversations. He feels good about what we have in place in regards to the event of something tragic like that would happen here. He said he's reviewed over our safety plans, and so
Is that up for review by the board? The safety
that was
plan?
reviewed and that was approved in October.
Okay. What was I going to say? So he met with the high school. I like that the Safe and Sound, is that what it's called? The Safe and Sound reporting tool that the government
Yes,
has?
yes.
Okay, I like that you mentioned that. How is that communicated throughout the school? Like, do we have flyers? Do we have posters? How are all the kids aware?
Last year, I know we sent that out to all of our students as well as I'm pretty sure we sent out a JMC
Yeah.
district-wide.
Or is it article about it?
Yeah, it was communicated in the newspaper. As far as this year, I don't know if we've sent out any refreshers or reminders about that.
I saw it somewhere here on the website or on the app, and they had,
Be good to have a yearly reminder
yeah.
on that for the students.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, the percentage, like you said, that have told somebody about it is like 90%. They communicated the plans to somebody, so.
When we sent it back to homeroom, Officer Gannon or Sergeant Gannon encouraged the kids to go back to your homeroom, search for the app on whatever platform you have, and go ahead and install it. And they had about, I think, 6 minutes until their next class, so they all had enough time to do that.
Okay. And then do you know if he has plans for the other schools? Like, I know research is very based on age at how you approach it.
Yes,
but-
in my conversations with him, he is planning on doing that with the other buildings. However, with testing going on
Yeah.
and the weather, and I hate to say use the weather as an excuse, but it did impact how things ran regularly. So, yes, once we get back here, we'll give it the other two principals and set the time. So that's what he communicated to me, was that he would be in the other building. We just happened to start with the high school and then
Yeah.
snowed
Yeah.
down there. So.
Okay, great.
Does he have a designated building that he's at in the mornings? Or has there been talks of that?
Not really.
A lot of times, Nate James will be up at the elementary school, kind of in the parking lot, so.
Nate has said he's up there just about every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on what the need is for the day, Sergeant Gannon might be in the elementary, might be in high school.
Sure.
It just really depends. As far as a set, he's in this building at this time.
Just wondered if in the mornings you could have a presence, maybe here, if Nate's up at the high school.
There are times where, and this was discussed previously, but I don't believe we would release that publicly necessarily for safety reasons and schedule.
So scheduled not to be publicly, so
So, and
of course
that's,
you can't control that.
so I would, if you guys have any further questions about that, can I give you the time on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important thing, but I do feel like there's a safety factor involved with.
Yeah, we don't need to release his schedule, but when you drop off your kids in the morning, you see him and Nate sitting side by side,
Right.
it's like, let's
No,
split them up,
I see
you know.
it too.
We
And
don't-
then
yeah, we
I
don't need
always
to.
have to be like, okay, I should like turn down the music.
You just can't control Nate's schedule.
Right, no.
Yeah.
He's like,
And we, I guess originally we had wanted more than one resource officer, we just were unable, Nate was unable to get him.
yeah.
That's all of that stuff started.
About 2.5 years to get through.
You get one,
Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, thank you,
But she's
Tom.
been in the job office too, but.
And does anyone have any other questions for Tom, or is it okay if we move on? Okay, we're going to move on to policy. We have clerical changes and edits as recommended by IASB, Policy Manual Review by Sean Schneider, who is the IASB Policy Legal Services Director, received on December 22nd, 2021. We need to affirm policies.
There is policy 705.1. There was a change in that policy that was not reflected in the one sent to you. There is a new copy in front of you here at the board table. If you would like to review over that and not approve, and take that one out and not approve that one, that is fine. There was just language that was taken out of it. There was nothing added to it. So that's a little bit to an oversight on that one policy. So this is the one in front of you is the revised. And again, there's nothing new. There was things taken out of that policy.
I did have one question on that one. Is there like a minimum number of bids that are required? You know, if you can get.
No,
No,
Okay.
there isn't. If there was, half our projects would be done.
Okay. Like, I know sometimes there's one or just like two, but I didn't know.
Actually, more, it's mostly one,
Is it okay?
unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, well, I am required to read the policies by name, so I'm going to read those.
sorry.
No, it's fine. Not a problem. Affirm 704.2 R2 bond disclosure policy, 704.4 gifts, grants, and requests, 704.5 student activities fund, 705.1 purchasing, 705.1 R1 purchasing, bidding, suspension, and debarment of vendors and contractors procedure, 705.3 payment for goods and services, 705.4 expenditures, 706.1 payroll periods, 706.2 payroll deductions, 706.3 R1 pay deduction resolution.
I don't have a copy of the 704.2 R2. You guys, in your packet? This one. Non-disclosure policy. Is it just missing in mine? You do have it?
No.
You were saying what you have is that I can pull it up and email it to the board.
Can we just look at it online now and then, or
Yeah, I did.
Or you can take that one out and you can add it to next month's agenda.
what's preferable?
It's not a problem. That way you guys have ample time to review over it prior to making a decision.
Is that preferable to everybody?
No, we have to take a vote. I don't have a motion on the table.
I mean, is it preferable to take it out?
Well, yes, but we can't really
You can
say it's preferable, because if we would respond, that would be a vote. We can't take a vote without a motion on the table. So I mean, if you want to make a motion to see.
to withdraw that one.
Yeah. Okay. 704.2 R1.
What was the title of the use? Is the bidding one?
Bond disclosure
Bond
policy.
disclosure, okay, I have it.
And it's the same policy we had a year ago? It's only been working for 20 years.
Oh, it's
Can
really
it go on
long.
more?
It's really, really long. Yes, I make a motion to remove that one, or postpone it till next month.
Okay, so I have a motion by Riggert to remove,
Or postpone it, I guess.
Do you want to make the motion to affirm all of them excluding the 704.2 R2?
Yes, I make a motion to approve all of the policies except for 7042 R2. To postpone that one till next month.
I'll second.
and then a second by Barkley. To approve all policy except for 704.2 R2. Any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
So I did vote.
If we don't-
Yep. I'm opposed. So that motion dies. I would entertain another motion.
I'll make a motion to approve all the policy changes.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Mullins to approve policy as is, and a second by Freed. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
I would vote in favor of approving policy. So, if you vote. Sorry, if we can vote, we approve policies and the changes. Alright. Moving on to new business. Item 8, discussion of action concerning Cherokee Washington High School discipline response matrix, second reading. So we did have the first reading on last month's window, and that pretty lengthy discussion with that. And procedurally for audience of new board members, when there is something new, we do a first reading, and the next month we do a second reading, and this is when we can vote on it. There's no voting in the first reading.
I did want to ask Mr. Malewski, how is it working as you, I know we haven't had a ton of school days, but in the days you've had?
It's been going really well. It's easy. I mean, it's all it, like I said, all it is it's our old handbook,
Yeah.
but broken down into what level of an offense it is.
And then the restorative practices, how are those?
Well, when we had one incident where we had the student like go through, okay, what made you do this? Okay, what are some different strategies that we can do? And that was done with our guidance counselor. So that went really, really well. It also helped de-escalate the student because a lot of times by the time they get to my office, they're like here, you know what I mean? And it gave her a chance to rein it back in a little bit and think about what they did and, you know, what they can do differently.
So are we consistent in enforcing these rules? I mean, I'm not one for kind of making more rules if we don't enforce the ones we have.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So how do you catch the, or is this a big change for staff? Like, did you have to do a PD time to be like, here's what we're doing, or is it like an email? Or
This
how?
started before I became the high school principal. So it was, I believe, the SEBH team, which is Social Emotional Behavior Health team, and also the building leadership team. So they started the process. I came in July, and Natalie met with me about it, about like, here's what they did, and then also Mrs. Brady and Ms. Breeze showed me how they figured out what level to put them on, because they had staff vote on what should be where. And then, yeah, it's just, we talked about it at one of our weekly morning meetings about, here it is, you know, take a chance, go through it, and...
You mean the whole staff?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then had them go through it, and that's where we found out we had the typo in the first sentence.
Okay. So there has been an opportunity to get everyone on the same page?
Yep.
Like Jared was
Yep.
asking.
And it both, after it gets approved, or if it gets approved, we'll follow up with staff too.
And it'll be continuous follow-ups too. Like last year, we did do some of our staff PD was actually going through some of these processes. And using the restorative circles, the restorative practices and whatnot. So just to get the staff somewhat familiar with what we were looking to go towards. And then this year they did, as a staff, did sit down and go through the different offenses within the handbook. And they got to how they would rate those as far as high or low. And then that led to conversations as to why you feel that, this is why I feel that. Then there was that compromise, which is kind of the crux of what restorative practice is.
It's like a philosophy kind of, isn't it?
Yes.
And again, this isn't new.
No.
It's just
This is
putting it on
basically the
paper
addendum.
Yeah.
of, this is what we're already doing.
Yeah.
So
And it
people can actually see.
Right.
Yes. And a
Our staff
continuation
is-
of what they're already doing in middle school.
And our staff is mostly up to speed on that. So.
Yeah, but
And
they're,
have had lots of input.
they have had input. Again, it's going to be kind of that
Continual.
cyclical thing where you're bringing it back and around and putting it in front of them, having those conversations so that they feel comfortable with how they handle situations, but then also it's an opportunity for them to ask questions, clarifying questions and stuff. And we had a good handful of staff that went through the training the last 2 years for restorative practices, and they got a very good grasp on it. So, yeah, I think this is just kind of an addendum to what's already been in place as far as the handbook. And again, like I said last month, this is to help with the relationship building and the de-escalation and those types of things.
So I'll make a motion to adopt the discipline matrix.
Okay, so I have a motion by Ritter to, and what, did you say adopt?
Yeah, or is that the right word?
That's okay, yep.
Approve the addition of to the handbook.
Okay, so I have a motion by Ritter,
I'll second.
and a second by Bree. Any other questions or discussion?
So, let's say that it's not followed, an instructor, staff, somebody doesn't follow it the right way. What's the accountability to that?
Well, generally, it's going to be conversations in which we, why did you do this instead of doing it without,
And that would go to your level to call in the business rule wise?
Well, no, not who it was, just depending on the number of occurrences.
The building principal.
So there was some confusion about like how to handle
Yeah.
dress code because there was,
I'm not saying belligerent behavior,
No, but
I'm
like-
saying somebody didn't do it right,
yep, and then we
either
just,
because they didn't look or know or whatever.
yep, and a staff member said that they were unsure of the protocol. And so then I just
Fair enough.
sent out an email, and then also we followed up with it at the next weekly staff meeting of, hey, the way for us to get control of this, if somebody is violating the dress code, is to send them to the office. It's, if I could go through 8 periods a day, you know what I mean, with the teacher just saying, hey, you need to put something else on, or your shirt's inappropriate.
Right.
And I could end up doing that 8 times a day, and nobody would know because it wasn't reported. So,
Just curious on the
Yep.
accountability stuff.
yep.
Okay.
We have a motion by Ritter, second by Bree. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item B, discussion of information concerning 24-25 school calendar options.
Okay, just been working on the calendar in regards to next year. Did collect information that we had back from staff. Some things that they really liked was ending the semester before winter break this year, which looking at next year's calendar would be interesting. So much hinges on where Christmas falls and when that winter break starts and whatnot. So looking at next year's calendar, with Christmas being on a Wednesday, more than likely we won't have school on the 23rd, because another piece of feedback that I got was that they would have liked a little bit more of a cushion prior to Christmas happening. We're more likely willing to go to school on the 23rd, which makes it an 80-day first semester in comparison to about a 95-day second semester. So we have, it doesn't sound like a huge deal, but if you're a teacher who teaches a semester class and you teach that class first semester and second semester, either you're cropping out 15 days worth of information or you're trying to cram it all in. So that's something to take into consideration. If we were to make the semesters even, that would put the first semester ending January 15th or 16th around that. Which again, having been a high school principal, that's not ideal either, because we'd like everybody to be able to go home and break and not have anything hanging over their head. So it's just a matter of working with the admin team and seeing what we can come up with.
What are most schools doing? Because when I went to school here, the break was in January.
It's about half and half. Some make it work, some don't.
So you would have Christmas break and then another break in January?
Or you take your
Or what do
semester
you-
finals in January.
You took your semester finals in
Semester
January,
break, yeah.
Or I'm sorry.
and then you started the next day, you started the
Yeah,
next
semester, and usually about 2 weeks after you come back.
Oh, okay.
And if I remember right, I think this year's the first year that we switched it to the second semester. I mean, because for several years, for a while,
Yeah.
it was, we
Since
did
I've
it
been-
until January.
Since I've been here, this year is the first year we're in October.
So then you were gonna check in with some of the staff that teach those classes, because, I mean, we're down to 3+ weeks of additional, for the second semester, so.
So yeah, and with last week's whatever.
Yeah, elementary, it's not.
Yeah. Elementary doesn't, middle school it doesn't so much other than some of the specials and whatnot. High school's where it has the most impact.
And our proposed start date that we're looking at on the calendar for
For the start of school year, what the governor says we can on the school year.
maybe we should change that too.
No, and that's on a Friday, so that'll be.
Oh,
How do the college classes work for kids in high school and that? Does that have a certain date? Like, would that matter for
Oh,
us?
quit.
Yeah,
No,
with WIT,
so
when it's all separate?
They run their own semester.
Okay,
So their start date, their end date is however they start. Usually theirs is, I mean, going to be
Pretty
for
close, yeah.
winter break. They have different regulations year to year.
Are you looking at the Monday PD days again?
Yeah, we are looking at that. We're also looking, I'm looking at for next year's calendar, second semester, kind of coupling some of those up so that there are some, maybe a little bit longer breaks for kids in there. You know, instead of having a Monday here, Monday there, and looking at coupling up the Monday with the Friday, so that
Okay.
they might have, you know, there's some natural opportunities for that to work in the calendar next year. But they're having some Mondays off in the second semester is still in there as well.
Are you planning on doing us like a community survey, or was that just new last year?
Oh, we've done the survey.
We've done the
on
survey.
campus
Normally it's
since I've
been,
here.
you know, spring break versus no spring
Yeah.
break.
Quite frankly, it doesn't help.
No,
The
he'll come
community
over
survey
and
doesn't help.
talk
I'm
to us.
not trying to be confrontational here, but everybody's got an idea.
So is it usually split, like it's usually split, like there's not a definite majority?
I think,
I
was it
last
like
year was-
2 or 3 votes, one way or the
Oh,
other?
That's from the
Okay.
public, but the teachers
You're guaranteed to
and
make half
staff
of them
was
mad at you.
78%. I just looked it up, 78% without
Ridiculous.
spring break. And then, you know, 27% of staff wanted the spring break. But so, I mean, I think as board we had discussed, you know, the people were gonna put a little, because there was such a difference between what the staff wanted and community was pretty split, it was pretty easy to
Staff.
start.
And, you know, you can't start before August 23rd. You know, and the kids will be done before Memorial Day. You know, you only have, there's only so many different ways you can skin that cat, you know, for lack of different
Yeah.
analogy. But,
Will you have a, sample outcomes for the board at our work session?
that is my, so with Kendra being out for a little bit here, she has the template, so I couldn't go in and manipulate and the template. She puts it out for me, so that's fine. So yeah, because her and I worked on it prior to her having surgery and whatnot, so yes, hopefully by February 6th I have some actual things that you can, some tangible things that you can look at.
How do we compare it to other districts as far as hours?
We are
Heavy?
more.
Yeah.
We are more. So with taking the 2-hour, you know, the Wednesday early dismissals out and turning that into instructional time this year, that added a significant amount of hours on. So we're sitting at 1,203 hours in this year. In comparison to some other schools in the area that are right around that 1,500 to 1,600 hours. So that comes back to, you know, how many instructional days should we have? Also, how long of a day is our school day? that's something that, I'm gonna talk with Brad and see about, see if that's something that we ought to do.
So just devil's advocate on that though, because it was, when was the last time girls went to state basketball? 2020? 2021, yes. So we didn't have enough days on the calendar then. And then we had makeup days. So, you know, we threw some more in, extended the day and stuff, and now it's like we have. But then last year with so many weather days, I think we had one day left before the students were at their hours. So we were really close. So, and just a reminder, so teachers are on contract days, and then staff are on, or students are on hours. So what, 1180 this evening?
I must not have copied you down. You said other districts are 1,500 and where?
We're at,
You said 1,200.
1,200.
yeah, I'm sorry, they're about, we're at 1,200, they're right about, we have about 500. They're about 15, what is that, I can't remember.
They were like 1,150.
Yes.
1,100.
And we were about 1,200, so we were about 50. We
out.
were about 45 to 50 over compared to the ones we just did a quick look at.
We just did a
So like
quick
a
look,
week.
and,
Yeah.
so we were considerably more than area ones.
But then like a lot of the ones north of us had a lot more snow last year. They had to make up some days and take away PD. So it really is a catch-22
It
either
is,
way.
yeah. So like, I know Alta Aurelia, for example, already has their scheduled makeup days. So they're already in the process of makeup days because they didn't have enough built into their calendar.
I think it's better to have them built in, don't you think?
What was that?
Have them better to have them built in.
But you are asking the teacher to.
Yes, I get it.
I mean, I'm.
But when you add them on, I think
Right.
it's so painful.
I agree.
Yeah. And
Like
we
taxes.
It does something in your
Better
mind.
overpay rather than.
No, it's not. Like Greg said too, you know, you can't keep everyone happy, but the surveys are nice, and then we get, you know, some options together, and we'll make sure to share with the public and give us some.
For me personally, I really want to support the staff's position on calendar and these days, but I also want the kids in our community to get as much of a school year as we can give them.
And then we
Because
do
quite
hear
frankly,
from,
they're going to need it.
and we hear from hourly staff too, who, when we don't have those extra weekend hours, who are, you know, are concerned with paras and lunch staff, that sort of
There's a lot of
stuff.
those that get concerned.
Yes, if they
Yep.
don't have
Don't
them.
have their hours.
You know, it's two sides on everything, and we can hear.
We have the opportunity to talk about it.
And we've kind of done it all in the last, you know, in the
We
last
have.
4 or 5 years since I've been on, that I've noticed, you know, kind of what we're not having enough to having too many and not enough hours.
Yeah, and up to this point, I mean, honestly, we had a decent winter. We picked up last week, and we hadn't used any late starts, we hadn't had any snow days or anything like that. Last week, obviously, was different. But we, in addition to the day that we took for state volleyball, we used 34 and a half hours. Most days. So take that from the 1,200, we're inching a little bit closer, but who knows what the rest of this winter has in store for us. So all of that is going into, again, start August 23rd, try to get the kids out before Memorial Day. Showing so many different ways to connect. So,
All right, so we will continue to discuss this, and we're going to move on. As this will be something that will be on the agenda probably through March. And we will have a vote through at some point about okay, item C, discussion of action concerning gifts from R.D. Thomas League of Action in the amount of $6,787.50.
Is this a grant or how does this?
Teachers can apply.
teachers apply, it's an application for a grant, it's sent out to the staff, and they fill out the application, they submit that, and there comes for reviews those applications and rewards those that they do.
Are these the STEM grants? Is that the
No, these are
This
not
is different,
STEM.
okay.
No,
This
this
is a
is
private.
just
This is a local,
completely private, just through RJ's, because they're like,
It's a tremendous deal. Tremendous.
and it provides an opportunity for staff to expand on what they're already doing in their classroom, and maybe get that, that piece of equipment that might be a little bit out of their, of their classroom budget range. So it does provide some avenues for that.
I move to approve gifts from RJ Thomas.
motion by Barclay,
I'll second that.
second by Mullins. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Right.
All opposed? Joyce and Wayne abstain. Okay, motion passes. Item B, discussion of action concerning a resolution of acknowledgement for RJ Thomas manufacturing. So this is a formality.
Absolutely. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, so we have a motion by Reed,
I'll second that.
second by Mullins. Any discussion?
Because they're a great community supporter, and we're just very grateful for their philanthropy and just the way that they step up whenever it's needed, and actually on their own created this. So, we didn't ask for this, but they did, and it's a great deal. We're very fortunate.
So motion by Reed, second by Mullins. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Joyce and Wayne abstain. Thank you for reviewing the audit. Item E, discussion of action concerning substitute teacher pay for the 24-25 school year. Sioux City did a big bump a few weeks ago, and we kind of talked about it. They're really struggling filling. And this is something that we used to only do like every 2 or 3 years, is talk about sub pay, but I think it's been annually the last 3 years at least, just to keep up with COVID.
Yeah, luckily we don't compete with Sioux City for subs. We're going to compete with those districts right around here. And principals can attest, everyone is giving calls in the morning, making calls. There are days where we don't have enough stuff, but in comparison to districts around us, we are competitive. We're actually above all the other districts by $5 or the closest one. We're paying theirs $140, so we're still competitive. And I don't know if raising the sub pay is necessarily going to make more subs just appear. It's just there's a limited number of bodies out there that are willing and able to serve.
And I know it's really not about the money, but when you do raise somebody's compensation, you're sending a message that they're valuable to your organization. And these gals and guys that come to Subforce are extremely valuable. And I guess I wanted to raise it more last time. I want to raise it some this time. To what the right level is, I'm not sure, but I guess I'd be thinking of raising it $15. But I know it's not a lot of money.
Currently, we pay $100 or $125 a day.
Yeah, so make it 160.
So is that a motion?
No.
What did you say, what was Sioux City's, you said many months?
I did find anything that was actually, but yes, it was pretty close to that $200.
I heard $200.
But they can't even fill about half, almost 60% of their sub requests. They're really, really struggling with even filling a portion of theirs.
There are days where our principals are covering classes for the subsystems. So I don't want to minimize it and say it's not an issue. There are days it is an issue. It just depends on the day. Again, you're going back to that same small pool.
I know. And if we can keep those individuals engaged, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more years before they say, I can't take it anymore, then so be it. I think that would be a huge advantage to us. Because I think maintaining a content staff is one of the top priorities of this school. So I'd really like to see us do something toward that. It isn't going to make a difference whether somebody becomes a sub or not. They're going to do that out of the kindness or craziness of the individual behavior.
But if they're comparing to, I mean.
Right. Yeah, or if they live in, if they live in Alta and they have a choice to either go to a storm like that, they have a choice to eat.
Right.
Then the $15 would make a difference. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I want them to know that we appreciate them. I wanted to make some changes in the way we do subs. I'd like to see us actually get a full-time sub in each building that was always here, but baby subs.
And just to comment on your comment, I guess, is, that would be something the board would entertain, then we probably wouldn't have to talk about it next year. We could finally have a gap year in between talking about it. Otherwise, it's so likely to be.
It's
It's going to come right back at us.
Yeah.
If you don't do that.
What does it look like? What is the budget impact of subs?
It's about 100, it varies, 120,000 maybe a year.
Yeah. Well,
This year we had quite a few long-term subs.
Do we have a per day average of subs? I know it changes, but like in a week, how many subs do you guys typically go through in a week? Is it
Mine's
10
mine's
per
the
building?
highest.
10 per
I
building?
could probably,
No, I would say in my building, my computer died, so I can't look at my sub counter. I want to say like 5
Per week?
or like you want like per day or
Oh,
per
either
week?
way, I'm just saying.
I would say probably about 5 a day.
here's like one day, for example, that
Yep.
was December 5th. I mean, that's all the subs that they needed
Yep.
for one day.
And that's certified and support staff are on that.
I know you guys
Yeah.
How many was
particularly
it?
fight over sometimes.
So they,
Yeah,
this
but you guys also work together,
Yep.
creating
To get them covered,
schedules that you can work with.
13 in one day in December. I don't know, but like
I don't,
It is
it's
gonna cost-
productive to have
It's going to cost
a
us
principal
$10,000
teaching a class.
more.
It's going to cost you
school
money.
10 to 12,000, right? 10. It's a 10%
If you
increase.
average 10 subs a day, then you're going
That's
to pay
10%,
them an
that's
additional
10%.
$15 a day. There's 180 days, it's about 27,000. Plus your benefits, plus your FICA numbers.
Yeah, but we're only changing the pay, if it's $120,000 a year, we're only changing the pay about 11%. So why would it change the total?
I was just going by the number of
Oh,
average
Yeah,
subs.
10 a day.
so.
But what it's going to increase our total sub pay by about 11%.
That, yes, the elementary school
Because it's
is,
11%.
I was going by it.
that one was,
That's
that's
too.
Paris too.
I don't think
So,
that's high.
no, because
No.
yours, middle school, I haven't subbed at the high school.
I'll bet it's going to cost about
Not very
$10,500.
much on yours.
For subs?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
I'm
some
saying
days we
let's
have,
average 2 a day.
yeah, I would say 10.
When you average it all
I would
out.
say for
Yeah.
teachers,
That's about the same at the high school too,
2 a day,
2 a day.
so about 10 just reflect.
Yeah, I'd say we're looking at certified staff sub.
Yeah, because a lot of that's Paris.
Yep.
Well,
And, and how
I mean, I
to
hate
figure
to
out
tell you
there.
That's one place.
Well, and I think it takes away from,
I don't know what the
if you
right
guys
number
are in a classroom teaching a class, that takes away from what you're supposed to be doing also. And that builds up if you're doing that 3 or 4 times a week.
It's impacting.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, or can't I ask?
Oh, go ahead.
It's
Carly's a
actually
sub.
It's kind of maybe a thought. Yes, and I do love subbing. Has the school ever done where like the more days you do in a week, the more pay you would get? Because there are days that you leave there and you're like I could not do that tomorrow or for like a whole nother week, even if they called me. But it's rewarding and it's also difficult. I'm not gonna lie, when I have like a Friday off, I debate, should I let them know I can sub, should I not? And it might be slightly persuasive. I would say though, I can honestly say, and I don't know if people will disagree with me, as a sub, the money doesn't even matter to me.
No.
But if I did think that the more you sub, the more pay you got, I might be more inclined to do more days in a week.
But then subs can only, how many days in a row? 10?
Depends if they have a sub license or a sub authorization.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 10 days in a row. And
So
usually after that
makes
10 days is when like long-term comes in. That's a
Yeah.
whole separate.
And I did just pull up,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was low, so it looks like our cost last year was $145,000.
So it cost us all 15 more.
It depends, we've had a lot of long-term subs over the last couple of years, which increases that, but,
Probably continue that.
yeah.
Just
This is an action item, so I don't.
Well, I'm not saying the number I threw out is the right number, I'm just
Right.
saying, I really just want to send a message that says we have. And we should make it.
Is that what, that's what you do?
I don't know. So I'm not doing that.
Or like, are there models to look at, or?
I was just gonna say, if you want to table this until next month. we
But
could-
yes, and we
could
could
look
do,
at
you guys
different
can do some
options
with
that we could
negotiations,
do.
throw them with some negotiations and say,
What did you say, Tom?
So we could look at comparison between the ADA
Let's do that.
okay.
So I'll make a motion to table.
Okay. We technically don't need a motion to table, but I think we can go ahead and do one. So I have a motion by Carrie, second by Ritter, to table this discussion until next month. Any other questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No?
And I think they could do without negotiation.
No. I know, that's why I'm thinking maybe we need to make a negotiation. Because if we're going up to 50 for that, and then
They're gonna want.
figure out how this going on and interpret that into the buckets. Okay,
It would be an ask.
it is. Okay.
It's going that way. Okay.
All right, so that, yes, motion passes to table until further discussion. And I asked Tom if I need to signal that, or what did he say? No? Okay. All right, I've asked discussion and information concerning a board work session for February 6th.
Okay, so February 6th, we'll be having a board work session. That's going to be good. So in the middle school conference room, that's.
They don't have one. I was there, they're gone. Somebody took it.
I wouldn't come anyway.
I wouldn't have either. I think I called you
Jared would
afterwards.
like it.
I called Ray afterwards. I'm like, I can't breathe. That was so bad. I can't breathe.
So yeah, that'll.
One little room for like an entire day work session. So
Yes.
we'll be
So-
good. And we're having lunch. Tell me what the other good lunch was.
Yes, Joyce and I have got to
Yes.
figure that out. What we're going to do for lunch.
I trust you, Joyce.
I will not.
No, you just-
I will not make
What are you
it.
gonna sign up?
Now your water.
Yeah, I think.
But it'll be from 9 to 2, and the agenda is coming together. We'll be talking buildings and grounds, we'll be doing some financial stuff as well. And some financial planning, some building and ground planning, so. Not too short.
And kind of do what I'm saying.
Yes.
And usually
Around this time,
January.
late January, early February.
There are no votes that day or anything, it's just discussion, like when.
Just discussion,
Okay.
we'll let our admin and ICT come in and present to you guys and give you an opportunity to ask them questions. Building and grounds people doing anything. So it's more discussion, no action.
All right. Well, we are going to move into exec session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining strategies and issues. So, taking a